Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Apotheosis with the Gremlin crew. Let's go. Before we go around and say hello to everyone, please check out our opening links. And there is a new thing in our opening links. New things. Fireworks, flash. First of all, please check out all of the Twitter, Discord, Patreon, all them good things where you can find stuff about us. But also check out our sponsors. And damn it, I haven't updated the overlay with them yet. I'll do that right now. But we are sponsored by Mayhem Press, which is normal. But also, as of this week, the Deck of Many. So go and check out their stuff. You might have seen their spell cards, NPC cards, and things like that. At the moment, they're running a promotion on their animated spell cards. These are spell cards that cast as you cast. So go and check those out. I'll correct the screen immediately so that is reflected. Let's go around and say hello to... Oh, retweet the tweet. Go retweet the tweet. Go and tell everyone you're here. And let's go around and say hello to everyone. Mackenzie. Oh, hi. How you doing?
Oh, hi. I am probably the most nervous for an episode I have ever been. More nervous than the premiere, actually, because this is going to be a time. I have said it before, and I'll say it again. My players very willingly gave me a bunch of knives. A bunch of very sharp knives. I am not going to attempt to emotionally stab them tonight, but there might be some strategically placed knives somewhere lying around. It's fine. Anyways, I am Mackenzie Lane Day on Twitter. I will be your dungeon master for the evening. And it's a lot's happening tonight. I am a tabletop role-playing games online content creator, so you can find my work here every Tuesday on Scratticus Academy as the DM for this show. You can also find me as a player in Tact and Diplomacy every Monday night, and in Encounter Roleplays The Broken Crown on every Wednesday afternoon. I just published my very first one-page TTRPG, Burp Brains, on Itch.io. It was the #1 physical game on Itch.io this weekend. And literally just announced this morning, later this month, I will be releasing Kanarl's Candy Compendium, a collection of 50 magical candies for Halloween up on DM's Guild. I'm super excited. It is narrated by a little goblin girl and her wizarding accomplice. So I think, that's most of my things. I do a bunch of other stuff too, just check it out on Twitter. Let's go around and say hi to everyone. Raven, oh hi.
Oh hi, I'm Raven, at Raven_Coop or Co-op. You can also find me at Co-op the Podcast and at Bookin' Bitch Pod. I create podcasts, that's what I do. I'm playing Bubbles, who isn't terrified about what's gonna happen because she doesn't know, but Raven's absolutely in such fear. She's gonna drown her sorrows in Skittles.
Safe fear.
So safe fear. I feel protected, but I'm concerned for the emotions because I'm gonna feel things. I'm going to evoke emotions tonight, you guys. That's what I'm doing.
It's
but
gonna
I'm
be
definitely gonna eat
epic.
Skittles.
It's gonna be epic. I'm so excited.
Can we just talk about how great Mackenzie looks in a leather jacket, though? I mean, come on.
Real talk. I'm with you.
It's
Yes,
right
honey.
here, y'all. Hi.
It's there, but she lives in a hot place.
It's warm. Look, I'm saving it for a very special character who is not in play right now. T.
Thank you.
Motherfucking E.
Thank you very much to Desert Black, who gives me an advantage because Sklicker's looking low. Thank you. And also, you have a mighty tower of advantages, which is a great segue to you as well, Josh.
Yes, I do have a mighty tower of advantages. It's very unusual for me. I usually have the least number because I spend them as soon as I get them. But last week, something changed all that. Last week, we met the devil. And so Sasir is really holding on to those so that he could use them all against the devil.
I don't know why. The
but-
devil's not really a bad guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was his game plan. I mean, in the well, that might change. He's definitely encountered something he was not expecting to face. So maybe a little more traumatizing than meeting the devil, if you can believe that. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Yes, I am Joshua Barbeau. You can find me on Twitter at Joshua Barbeau. That's Barbeau. And I've got a DM's Guild product that I'm working on that is going to come out sometime this month. It's weird because there is a reference in that product crossing over Weekend at Bernie's, if you know that old 80s film, with Dungeons and Dragons. And wouldn't you know it, great minds think alike, another product doing the almost exact same thing just came out today on DM's Guild. So kudos to them for beating me to it. It's called A Weekend at Strahd's, and you should check it out. Yeah, I don't know what else to say except really cool that you have the Deck of Many as a sponsor. I know one of the guys that made it, and you should check out all of their stuff. It's fantastic.
Yeah, we're so hype. It's so hype.
It's so cool. They're so cool.
I'm also very hype because Cepheus, how would you like 10 advantages?
Wait, what?
Wait, I'm sorry.
Pumpkin just
sorry.
donated 10 advantages to you, Cepheus.
Cepheus needs it. Cepheus is not doing real well. Last game.
Cepheus was doing just fine last game. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, Mac was rolling really well as Cepheus. That definitely happened.
Uh-huh.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Bless
I
you.
have the wounds to prove it.
Bless you, my child.
Oh my
Also-
god, wait!
Thank you very much to Sphinx as well, who's just come in with another donation, smashing our stream goal and gifting everyone an auto success.
Oh
Oh, thank
boy.
God.
Including me?
No, not including you. So
She's
yeah,
dangerous. She's too powerful.
we're not apprehensively worried about this session or anything. I think chat can feel it, maybe.
It's
Eating
it's gonna be a doozy.
Anyways, that is a bit of a good segue to our wonderful Zelda at Zeldandroid. Oh hi.
Hi, I'm really glad every week you say my app because I always mess up. Still, I've had this one for a long time. Still mess up. Anyways, Zelda, hello, it's me. I play Cepheus, who has a lot of emotions coming up real quick. I hope you're all ready because it's crying time. Well, maybe not, probably not, but still. Here we go. I'm ready.
Y'all think I changed because I wanted to wear my leather jacket, but I was originally wearing a shirt with a giant smiley face on it, okay? Today's gonna be perfectly fine. Last but certainly not least, let's go say hi to Scratticus's character. Oh, hi, Skooka.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Skooka here. You know how it is. Yeah, we're in a well. The devil's bad, obviously. Obviously bad, really bad. And all things really bad. Yep. Hi. What are all these emotion
Didn't
things?
kick his ass last episode or anything. Skooka and old Scratch and Skooka.
Oh my god.
Thank
We
you
got
so-
another donation.
Yeah, Pumpkin coming in with another donation.
Oh my gosh.
What was that one even? As I wait for my thing to... Oh no, there it is. The GM should get some auto successes, but please be gentle. Mackenzie, you have 3 auto successes.
I'm sorry, how many do I have?
What?
Don't make me say it again.
What?
I'm sorry, Scrat. I didn't catch that. How many auto successes do I
Hang
have?
on, I'll just count them out for you. 1, 2, 3.
Wow! Oh, that one was
so
cold.
I don't condone abusing Mackenzie.
I'm so scared. We love her so much.
No,
She
we do
looked
love
fantastic in her leather jacket. We love her.
I promise I'm not saying this so that she won't kill my character this
you.
episode.
Yeah, sure.
Why are
Okay,
you guys so
I
why
might
are
have
y'all
been
so
I
scared?
might have been sucking up to the devil, but Zelda's nose is brown right now. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
We really are the Gremlin crew, aren't we?
Yeah, oh, totally.
We absolutely are.
Anyway, speaking of said Gremlin crew, who wants to do a recap for what happened last week, or shall I?
You should go for it.
Cepheus got hurt real bad, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's all that. Okay, I could probably do a recap.
Want to do it in character or out of character?
I can do it in character, yeah. So last episode, it was all of us in we were in a huddle and we were trying to figure out what our plan of action was going to be. And that Skaka, he's just so obsessed with Satan. I mean, it's mind-boggling. But turns out Cepheus was completely taken over by war. Oh, not to mention, we're all sharing a mind space with one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, mind being death, who is actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, he's actually really nice to me, so that's kind of nice. But we were trying to figure out what we were gonna do, and basically Satan said that we could do whatever. His whole thing was that he didn't want to force us to do anything. That's his bag. And so we decided we were just gonna, think about it a little bit more. And so he decided to stop time and left us in a cave where we couldn't get through to anywhere. He took our only form of transportation, but then Death told me how to get to this weird tunnel with these weird roots. And then we went down there, and then War was super mean to our best buddy, Cepheus. She was talking really poorly about him, and so we got really mad about it. But then we started to attack Cepheus, which might not have been. Our hearts were in the right place, so our hearts are in the right place. We ended up saving Cepheus and sending War back to the back of Cepheus's mind, but not before making Cepheus unconscious. And then we found a well, and the well is not great. And we found the 3 Sisters of Fate, basically. And then I jumped into the well, and everyone followed us. And then we were in this dance ballroom. I don't know why I went really Valley Girl with this entire intro description of what happened.
I appreciate it.
But we ended up in this ballroom, and there was this really big minotaur walking towards us who looked kind of familiar to my buddies.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think before we get to that wonderful scene in that wonderful ballroom, though, let's actually catch up with our dear old buddy Cepheus. Hi, Cepheus.
Oh boy. Hi there.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I want to see this as it happens because it's going to be amazing. Hey.
Wow.
It's going to be amazing.
Not bad. All right.
A whole
So,
20.
The last thing you distinctly remember is the ground shaking and that figure and that sort of pounding headache ringing through your head, and then that figure clad in shining red armor with a long sword at her side sort of striding towards you to the point where she was almost chest to chest with you. And that sense of that feeling of being merged in pressure just sort of ringing in your ears, pushing down on you. Like, if you imagine the pressure at the bottom of the ocean, that's what you feel. That is the last thing you remember. Everything else after that is a bit of a haze. On a 20, you remember bits and pieces. You remember not being in control. You remember feeling like you were just suddenly shunted to the back of your own head. Your body moving without your control. A voice not your own speaking through your mouth. You don't know what you said, but you remember seeing your friends fighting you. You fighting your friends. That familiar sort of bloodlust and rage clouding your vision to the point where your own mind space sort of filled with this hazy red. And then something happens. And you suddenly feel the sudden pull. And you find yourself back in that sort of blank, empty space. Sort of a very damp floor. And you are standing and sort of sitting on what's possibly a chair. Just sort of sitting there, very angrily cleaning her sword. I'm waiting for this string riff to end. It's going. It's war.
Thank you for the build-up.
She looks angry. She's just sort of looking around, literally like spitting on a rag and just wiping off her sword. You are awake-ish. You can move in this space. You no longer feel trapped.
I'm gonna walk towards War, kind of cautiously at first.
What do you want?
So, what happened? I mean, I can tell if you're lying. I know that much. But
Well, your friends pack a little more of a punch than I'd like them to.
so you lost.
We lost you're currently unconscious now.
We. Huh. I don't know. It's hard to believe that I could lose control like that. I've never had someone else in my head.
Yeah, you don't exactly have much around here, do you?
Do I need to have much around?
No, that's why you have me. There are two sides of war. One is smart, one is dumb.
Well, I mean, who are we kidding? You must be the smart one then.
At least someone recognizes it. Anyways, your foolish friends knocked me out of the pilot's seat, so you are welcome to carry on. Don't know how much help I'll be.
You know, when I'm angry, I don't usually fight. You just try and calm down. There's a lot more to war than just attacking everything.
Hun, I'm the smart one. Don't try and talk philosophical with me.
And Seth's gonna pull a little Tupperware container out of his bag of holding.
Out of his little mind space bag of holding.
Yep. And he's just gonna toss a muffin at her.
Roll me a persuasion.
Okay. I'll take it. It's a nat 1. It's double nat. Wait. Yeah, it's double nat ones. Ooh,
So-
should have used an advantage on I forget I have like a million of them.
Zelda, I will remind you, if you'd used advantage, it would have still been a nat 1.
Yeah, but I would have felt better.
But hey, you know what? I do have my special rule. Gonna take the nat 1?
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay. Cool. You toss this muffin, and it thunks against War's head. And then falls to the ground.
Thought you'd be able to, catch that.
War doesn't answer. War just sort of snaps her fingers, and there is suddenly in the darkness a little bit of a door that just sort of pops up.
So is that for me?
Yeah, get out.
Yeah. And he's gonna kind of walk towards the door, just slowly.
And you can, as you walk away, you can hear this sort of angry sort of as like War is just grinding their sword against a wet stone, and it's just this sharp, angry sound of stone against metal. And you are able to pass through that door.
War, before I leave, if you ever do that again, I will kill you.
Oh, you could certainly try.
I mean, apparently it's not that hard to beat you. I'm gonna walk through the door before I can hear any answer.
Smart move. Smart move.
That's my brother. That's my brother.
Is anyone else feeling hot? Because I'm really feeling a burn right now.
Ooh, sick burn.
Yeah.
And you step through this door, and then there's a sudden feeling of like weight to your body. It's like you are suddenly back present in your physical body, and you're lying on the ground. Your eyes are closed, but you can sort of see like faint light filtering through.
Mhm.
And you are able to open your eyes. And you are in a ballroom, a dance hall. This looks oddly familiar, like someplace from your past, but it doesn't make sense of how you got here. Last you remembered, you were on a completely different plane by the world tree. And as you sort of open your eyes, you can see Skuka, Bubbles, Tasira. What's that figure in the back there?
Part of Seth looks around just briefly and is very confused, but it's a normal feeling to be confused.
And I think now is a good time to hand to the other three. As this figure sort of stands up on the other side of the ballroom, Tasira, you recognize the unmistakable silhouette of your dad. And there's a sudden shifting beside you as Cepheus starts to rouse.
Father,
Yeah.
what are you doing here?
Well, what do you think?
I don't know what to think. A minute ago, I was fighting the devil. Now
I'm here to.
you're here?
Well, yeah, I'm here to support my son. And he sort of gestures to the ballroom.
What? You're here to support? What are you saying?
Isn't that what good fathers do? We support our kids' passion.
This is a trick. You've never been a good father. You've never supported me. You've always made me do what you wanted me to do.
Well, things can change. Unless, of course, you've decided you don't want to do this anymore.
Cicera looks at the ballroom. He's feeling a whole whackload of mixed emotions. It's like, yes, this is what he's always wanted, but it's like, no, this is not how it's supposed to happen. This is not what this isn't right. And he's like, this isn't real. This isn't real. None of this is real. I turn around to see my friends, to make sure that they're still real. Do you all see this?
Do you want to dance?
I mean, Minotaurs don't dance.
That's not what I asked you. Do you want to dance?
I used to.
That's not what I asked you.
Maybe. I think so.
Okay. I can dance.
You
See,
can?
Yeah, I can dance. I guess I'm the only one that wouldn't
Sasira-
lead, I guess.
Sasira takes Bubbles' hand. I guess he tries to dance.
And the two of you can step out onto the dance floor. Why don't both of you roll me performance checks? Either you can both roll performance checks, or Sasira can roll at advantage with Bubbles helping him.
What if we both rolled with advantage?
That is
Should
not
we
how
both?
this works.
I
Unless
mean,
you
we both have
use
plenty of
one of the
advantages.
stats of
We have so many
advantages.
advantages. I'm gonna roll with advantage.
I'm gonna roll with advantage too.
Awesome. So this is a beautiful moment.
Skuka, as you're kind of watching your ex-girlfriend go with your roommate onto a dance floor, Zephia starts to wake up next to you.
What was this? A dexterity check?
Oh no, performance check.
Oh, a
Performance is
check.
charisma
Oh,
based.
that's 19.
A
For Bubbles.
19. And a
I got a
dancer.
20
You got a 20. Wow, double 19.
on both
do
rolls.
declare.
I know.
I do declare.
Awesome.
Declare.
What kind of dance are you doing? Are you doing a waltz? Are you doing a faster dance? Sasira, I guess it's up to you.
Sasira, yeah, you're leading.
I guess. Okay, he starts with a waltz. Sure, he does a
Alright.
waltz.
Apparently
he's better at it than he thought he would ever be.
the steps come naturally to you, whether or not maybe it's practice, maybe there's something about this environment, but the way the music itself seems to sort of guide your steps as you kind of move across this ballroom floor. Both you and Bubbles move effortlessly across this one, spinning and dancing in time to the waltz music that sort of just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, step, 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 and you just sort of move in sync. Yeah, Skuka, you are right next to a somewhat waking up Cepheus.
You alright, Cepheus? How you doing?
Zelda, you are muted.
You're not quite coming through yet, Cepheus.
Cepheus, just returning to his body, is gonna make a slightly jumbled response that probably won't mean anything. Like, kind of like when someone has electricity running through them and they just kind of half numb, just not quite there yet. You can see just like a little bit of movement in the arms and legs. And
I'm not saying that this is in reaction to what happened. But Skuka's gonna change 3 sorcery points into a 2nd level spell slot, just in case.
And you can.
just so worried. It's good. Okay.
You're still going to be speaking in tongues there, Cepheus. Get some of this in you. And I just pass him the bottle of wine that I've been swigging since we started walking in the cave.
Seth is going to take the bottle, just like lying face down on the ground, reach his arm up and take the bottle, and then roll onto his back as best he can, and just drink what he can.
Okay, roll me a Constitution saving throw. I believe the DC for wine is 13. So.
I'm gonna roll with advantage for this one. I don't want
Okay.
to be drunk right now. A 24.
Yeah, you don't get drunk. A pleasant buzz fills your head. That is all.
As Scrat would say, something to wet his whistle.
That is something Scrat would say. And as you sort of look around and you sort of start coming to consciousness and you start sort of chugging that bottle, you see your brother dancing with Bubbles? Where the hell are you?
He's gonna take a moment to like let it sink in before just like turning his head to the ceiling again and letting out just and then just kind of like close his eyes for a moment and take another swig.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll more than I say. I'm not getting you drunk. As you dance, this is Cicera and Cicera only. Make me a wisdom saving throw. Given the good roll you did for your performance, I will say you can do this at advantage.
Awesome. So the first couple steps he takes in the dance, the first couple turns, he doesn't take his eyes off of his dad. He's very suspicious. He doesn't trust this. He's like, okay, I'm getting to dance, but what is he up to? But after about 3 spins, he completely loses himself in what's going on, because this is something he's wanted. So he lost track of whatever his dad's doing. And I rolled a 17.
On a 17, I rolled pretty poorly. There is a creeping sensation in the back of your head, sort of almost like a headache, like that kind of headache you get after you haven't eaten in a while. That sort of gnawing headache. You take 4 points of psychic damage, but more importantly, you that force in the back of your head sort of pulls your head in the direction of your dad, and out of the corner of your eye, as you're spinning into one of these turns and sort of maybe dipping bubbles, you can see your father.
Oh, I'm dipping bubbles. What do I see out of the corner of my eye?
Your father, his expression is interesting. It's not one of anger, like maybe you would expect. It's disappointment, perhaps, displeasure, but mainly it is bland indifference. He's bored. He doesn't care. And that headache kind of grows in the back of your head.
Cicera hesitates for a second. Maybe mid-dip. 4 bubbles.
Bubbles, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Crazy. Oh.
I mean, Cicera's not going to drop her. But...
Yeah, it's an 11.
Well, Cicera doesn't drop her, but for a moment, you two fall out of sync with the music. That rhythm of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, your steps start to falter and fumble. And Cicera, again, that sort of itching in the back of your head sort of just gnaws at you. It doesn't cause any damage, but it's that uncomfortable feeling. And again, you look at your dad and he's just shaking his head. It's a little scoff under his breath as you stumble and try and fall back onto the rhythm.
Bubbles will take him. She'll stop for a second and she'll look him in the eye. She's like, "You okay?" And then she'll do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. She'll start counting with him, still wanting him to answer.
I don't know.
Is it your?
This is also. Yeah, he's not. He doesn't care, but I also don't want him to. I don't care that he doesn't care. He hasn't cared about anything in a long time. This is just. And then Cicera takes a step back from Bubbles. I'm sorry. This isn't right. None of this is right.
She'll take his hand and she'll say, "Cicera, this isn't real. I don't think this is real. I mean, the last thing I knew we were jumping into a well, and I don't think this is real."
No, it's some kind of shared dream, but I haven't figured out yet if it's a good dream or a nightmare.
I mean, you make it what you want it to be. I think. It doesn't have to be a nightmare if you don't want it to be.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can have fun dancing and not think about your dad at all.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, he'll resume dancing with Bubbles and try to put the shadowy, unbored figure out of his mind.
Okay. What check would this be? Bubbles, roll me a performance check. Just you, Bubbles.
Just Bubbles. Ooh. Okay,
'Cause
I'm gonna.
This determines
roll.
the DC for what happens next.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll regular because I'm interested. 13.
13. Okay. Desira, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Okay. 18.
On an 18, you are able to fall back into the rhythm, and that sort of. Hold on. God, I'm rolling god awful on these. You take another 4 points of psychic damage. You are able to kind of go back into that rhythm of the dance. It's a little easier to ignore this time, every time, but still out of the corner of your eye, you kind of catch that glimpse of your dad every so often. You can narrow your focus on the bubbles, and you can dance, and you are able to get back on the rhythm and able to sort of float along, but it's uncomfortable. Almost as if the music itself is off tune. Something's wrong.
Okay. So I'm trying to dance with Bubbles. I'm successfully dancing with Bubbles, but something keeps nagging at the back of my head.
Yep.
The rhythm is off.
Yeah.
I just can't shake it.
You are able to. You don't take the full psychic damage. Is the biggest thing. And you are able to dance, and there are moments where you kind of can lose yourself back into those steps, into that rhythm, and for a couple of them, you are able to actually take the lead back as you sort of swing and dance around this ballroom. But your dad's your dad. He's a big figure. He's a little hard to ignore sometimes, and he's just there.
I stop dancing, and I look at Bubbles in the eyes. Thank you. You've given me the strength for what I think has to happen next.
Okay. No problem, buddy.
No, really. Thank you.
And she's going to grab his hand because she's very concerned with what he's saying. And she's going to cast she's not going to cast anything. She's just going to grab his hand.
Okay. I'm going to turn around and confront dear old dad. But before I do, I'm gonna burn some healing if I can.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use the remaining lay on hands that I have on myself. Yeah, I'm gonna use the remaining lay on hands on myself that I've got left, and I'm going to cast a cure wounds on myself on top of that.
Go for it.
So weird to be a wizard and not like a cleric for once. I'm like, crap! I have nothing for him.
I cast cure wounds, so I heal another 5. And what the heck? I'm going to also cast protection from evil on myself.
Okay. What does that do?
Oh, it does nothing unless he is an undead, fiend, aberration, elemental, fey, any of those special outsider types.
Can't be
But if
charmed,
he is
frightened, or possessed.
one of those,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. As you turn around, you can see him. He's sitting back down, almost sort of like with hooves propped up on another chair, and he's just kind of. Way to let the lady lead.
He let
what are you doing here,
time,
Dad?
sir. Oh, she'll like kind of like with that. She'll kind of like.
Yeah, you can't fool me. I'm here because isn't this what you wanted? I'm just doing what you wanted me to, son. I'm here to support you.
You're not real. You're
Am
part
I?
of some fictional mindscape meant to make me doubt myself. It's not going to work.
I'm as
You hear
real as
that? I don't
anything
need
else.
you anymore. I don't think I ever did.
And he laughs at that, a big, throaty laugh. Need me? I made you the way you are. I am the reason you survived this long. Do you think anyone would have let a monster like you walk around if I hadn't taught you what you needed to know?
The only thing I know is that you're the reason I waited 26 years to dance.
And you should have waited longer.
Go back into the hole in the back of my mind from which you crawled from.
Why? I'm always here. I am a part of you. You are my son.
You're right. And I'm never going to be able to change that. But you're such a small part of me. The smallest part of me. These people, they're a bigger part of me today than you ever are. Possibly bigger than you ever were.
Did they raise you? Did they teach you how to be strong? Did they get you into that
You know
school
what?
when you met them?
You know what? The things you taught me weren't strength, they were weakness. You taught me how to fear being in tune with my own emotions. How to be cold. How to push everyone away.
He stands up at this. And I need you to roll me another wisdom saving throw.
When he stands up, I'll say that Bubbles just kind of grabs Cicera's hand, and she just holds it.
On a 12, as he stands up, you see him grow and grow almost in size. You are a monster. You are a part of me. Do you think anyone out in that world would have accepted you? You didn't play the part you were meant to play. I taught you how to survive. You owe me.
You taught me how to be afraid. And then you taught me how to hide that fear behind anger and violence.
And where did that get you? And he sort of nods his head over, and you can see Sepia sort of barely stirring on the ground.
Not far. But you know what? I'm not afraid of you anymore. I'm not afraid.
Roll me a persuasion.
$13.
Okay. On a 13, there is a moment where this shape as it's growing, and it grows with every word he says and every step he takes, and he says, "You owe me." The ground itself seems to shake and rumble, and there are things that sort of like fissures that almost start to crackle up these tall columns. And for a moment, actually, as you say, "I'm not afraid," he starts to shrink a little, and that shape starts to flicker. The lights from the chandelier that were starting to go dim with this hulking shadow start to brighten again, flicker back to life.
I squeeze Raven's Bubbles' hand a little tighter, and I just say, "You know what? You know what, Dad? I don't want to be anything like you. You're the reason Mom left. You're the reason for everything terrible that's happened in our lives. And I'm not going to let you ruin them anymore. I'm not going to let you."
Roll me another persuasion check.
I'm not going to let you, okay? I'm not.
Okay, on an 18, again, there's that flicker. He almost starts to shrink in size as he kind of steps towards you, but he's still kind of stalking towards you, and every step it shakes the ground, but it also there's that plummeting feeling in your gut as he still sort of strides towards you.
My other hand, the one not holding Bubbles, starts to glow.
And now he stands in front of you at his normal height, which is still taller than you ever were, but not as big, not as imposing. And he sort of looks at you and he smirks. "What are you gonna do? Punch me? I thought that's not what you wanted."
I turn my back on him. And I say, "Want to dance some more, Bubbles?"
Absolutely.
And I turn him out of my mind, like he doesn't exist. I forcefully, willfully disbelieve that he is even there, and try to make him go away as I dance with Bubbles.
Okay. What's your highest stat out of intelligence, wisdom, and charisma?
Wisdom.
Cool. Make me a wisdom saving throw.
24.
Okay. As you do this, there is almost sort of a strangled cry as it sounds like your dad, but it also sounds warbled, multi-layered, as if there's a chorus of just sort of like that throaty noise just sort of undercurrenting it. And the figure that was once your dad just sort of starts turning to this black sludge mist. It doesn't look, if it's black sludge, it doesn't look gross in the way that sludge normally does, almost like falling rain. And it just sort of melts into those long shadows that cascade across this ballroom. And he is gone. And you are free to dance.
Thank you very much to Potato Hollow. Their 110th gift sub in the channel goes to Bree, who seems to be deciding who they're going to give it to.
For the record, don't give it to me. I have so many. Just give it to someone else.
Hey,
please.
Bree! Bree, you should give it to me.
Don't give it to her. Don't do it. Don't do it. She'll only use it for evil. Oh, but look at her face.
I
She's
might-
so cute.
I might actually
She's so
genuinely
precious.
use it for evil. I mean, we're not sure.
And as you dance, I'm not gonna make you roll perception checks. It's almost as if your feet are light. It doesn't matter who's leading anymore. It's fun, and there is a weight and a weight has lifted off your chest, and it's light again. It's light here, and you can dance. Cepheus, make me a perception check.
I really need to start using these advantages.
Zelda.
Listen, it's not my fault. Roll 20 is cursed.
Okay. Well, you're able to watch this. You can see your brother dance. Your brother looks happier than he has in a very long time. Your dad sort of poofs almost, and it's hard to track where he goes. It's disconcerting. It doesn't feel like it's finished yet, not for you. And you don't necessarily see it coming, but there is this sudden sort of trickle of this dark water that starts creeping towards you.
He just sits up and waits for a moment.
Hey, make
He's
me. What were you gonna say? What were you gonna say?
He's still like, he's not even sure if like he can stand or still. He's kind of like, he feels like he probably could, maybe, but he's afraid that like he'll fall over kind of thing. He's just
Cool.
woozy.
Cool. As they started as trickles, but you can sort of see them coming closer and closer, more and more. It's easy to notice now. Even Skuka, as you kind of are just by him, sort of maybe half between glancing, Bubbles and Sisira dancing on the dance floor and just sort of glancing over Cepheus. You can see these sort of...
I'm not looking at Bubbles and Cicera hardly at all, not only because a little bit painful to watch, also because the last time Cepheus was walking around, he was trying to kill us all, so my eyes are firmly on Cepheus, you know?
Okay.
I think
Roll me
I'm
an
valid
insight.
in that.
Roll me an
Seth is
insight.
gonna hand Skukavek his bottle. It's not empty.
The way Cepheus is sitting, the way their posture is, it doesn't have that cocky confidence War had. He seems back to normal. But as you kind of study Cepheus to make sure they're not possessed by a horseman of the apocalypse, you do see these black lines start to trickle towards Cepheus like rain.
From the sky.
Down the columns that line this ballroom, kind of moving across the polished wooden floors, just kind of pooling around Cepheus.
Cepheus probably might want to get up a bit quick there. The floor. There's you might want to just maybe get up a bit.
Skuka. No matter what, everything will find me.
Still, that's like black ooze stuff, and I'm all for facing your demons and all of that stuff, but this ain't demons, this is just some kind of black ichor.
And where am I gonna go?
Jump across it, perhaps. Big, strong lad like you can do it.
I am gonna stand up, and for a moment, Seth will pat Skook on the back, kind of that like reassuring, "It's me," and just kind of stand there and just kind of let it come closer.
Digitate, 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 digitate.
No matter what we do, it will find us. Always.
On that note, everyone make me perception checks. It's getting chilly in here. I might need to put this jacket on.
Ooh.
Did not so bad. 16. The bubbles.
7.
7? Okay.
4.
That's a 12 for me.
4 and a 12.
Try to keep from
Okay.
laughing. Or laughing to keep from crying. So concerned.
Okay, cool. Steffies, you're kind of able to step away from these. It just kind of, on closer inspection, it doesn't really look like sludge. It just more looks like dark colored water. Perhaps a little too inky to just be like colored by like food coloring or anything like that, but definitely just like very loose and runny. As you kind of sort of step back though, you can start to see some of it going up. You can't tell the direction, but it looks like it's sort of crawling up some of these columns, going towards the center of the room. Bubbles, as you're dancing and as Cicera is sort of spinning you around, you look up, and there are cracks in the ceiling. There was a chandelier sort of hanging above you, and some of the candles are starting to flicker out as shadow sort of creeps around it. There are cracks and walls cracks that sort of jut between these between the ceiling and the stone, and from these cracks there's more that liquidy shadow starts to seep through that dark water. And you're the only person who sees this before anything happens. The chandelier starts to shake.
Do I see where the ichor is like kind of coalescing, I guess?
It's not necessarily coalescing as it is just sort of starting to flood this space. It's sort of like running down the walls like water. And the chandelier, it's just like all the candles have blown out now and it's just sort of rocking there.
Thank you very much. Variant rolls for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders.
Hi, Raiders.
Hi.
Welcome, Raiders.
I'm gonna grab Cicera's hand and stop him and like run over to our friends.
Cool. As you run,
Yeah, I don't take much convincing.
Okay, I'm gonna need you two to make me dexterity saving throws.
Ooh, lally. 25.
Oh my gosh, I'm not that great at it, so I'm gonna use my auto success.
Okay, wise move. As you sort of start running, you can look around and like there's no more light in this room. It almost looks like dark and ruined, like the ancient wreckage of like a castle almost. And there is an almighty creak and a crash, and this chandelier just drops onto the dance floor. And I need everyone to make me either dexterity saves or acrobatics checks.
Doing it with advantage.
22.
My advantage is before it's my turn.
Oh!
Dexterity
23.
saving throw?
Or acrobatics checks, whichever is better.
I'm gonna use a thing as well. Advantage.
That's a 21.
That's a 21. this makes sense. Skuka, you were kind of the farthest away. You are all able to jump out of the way as debris just sort of shatters everywhere. Shards of broken, twisted, what once finely wrought gilded metal just sort of shoot across this space. And there is like this dust that fills the air. Cepheus.
Yes.
Make me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh no. I'm gonna do this with advantage, but I don't want to auto save.
Think about
Welcome
all
in,
the
Wandering
time.
DM.
Did you roll?
Oh, nat 20! You got a nat 20!
You can get was a 17?
Yes!
Yeah, I have a -3.
I was gonna say, remember all the times Bubbles tutored you? Channel that.
Welcome in, Wandering DM. Thank you so much for the raid. Also, Praxagora Phesmophoria, thank you so much for the sub. 13 months. You have an advantage to gift to a player of your choice. Let us know who.
Okay. Well, on a 17, on a nat 20, technically. I don't know how to do this because it's a nat 20, but it's also not a 20. So.
The best he could do. He did his best.
He did his best.
He did his smartest.
Oh,
He did a smart.
he did a smart. Oh,
He's
God.
rolled higher than he ever has before.
Ever.
As
I'm so happy
you
for him.
sort
All
of
the tutoring paid off.
as you sort of pick yourself up off this ground, there is that thought that sort of thunders into your head. This isn't real. This can't be real. Whatever's gonna happen isn't real. I can do this? And then that feeling is replaced almost immediately with this sort of stomach-sinking dread. As you stand up and look around, there is still that wreckage of that dance hall, but it sort of expands outward, and you can see other ruined buildings. The ruined buildings of the school, the Bubbles' dorm room, the bar, the flat, the streets of old Hyperion cracked and broken, and this red sky that just burns above you. Again, with a nat 20, I will say you are able to remember this isn't real. This isn't real. But you are still alone. There is no one else around. It is silent and empty, and that red just sort of pulses at the edge of your vision, itching at the back of your head.
I'm gonna think and try to make contact with War and just ask out loud, is this you or me?
Okay, because you freaking sassed War, I'm gonna need you to make me another intelligence saving throw.
Let's do it with advantage, because, oh god, it's gonna be bad either way.
Hey, you never know.
Oh, we're doing it.
All right. There is like a piercing headache and a fine. No, this isn't me. What do you think? I have control over reality? No.
Then what is it? It's not real.
It's whatever place your friends dragged you into.
Dragged me into.
Well, yeah.
So fill me in. If you were there, where did they drag me in?
Well, they kicked me out of your head before I could really get a good look at things, but I'm assuming we're in some sort of liminal, mental, changey magic space. Sorry, I need to figure out words you'll understand.
It's fine.
I don't know. This isn't me, though. Although I'm pretty sure this one came from you. If you're asking me.
Yeah.
That red looks mighty familiar.
You know, I was thinking the same thing.
Well, I like it.
Seems angry. And Seth is just gonna wander until he finds anything. Just kind of checking himself, checking his arms and hands and seeing what he has on him. Just everything.
Ooh, okay. Make me... Oh, I feel bad about this, but make me another intelligence saving throw.
Oh my god. You know what? God, I don't see, it's been good the last 2 times, and I feel part of me is like, don't use the advantage. But I can't get 3 in a row. Let's be real. I'm gonna use another advantage.
I'm sorry, is that a -1?
It's even
No,
worse.
it's a 3.
That one.
That's not even a nat 1, wow. Alright.
That's a... Oh.
You look down at your hands. And they're covered in blood. You're holding your axe. You don't remember pulling out your great axe, but it's there. It is stained. And the way that your hands curl around this, you don't remember pulling it out. You don't remember it being in your hand, but the tactile feeling of holding that and the grip that you always hold it, it feels real.
He's just gonna drop it to the ground. Completely.
Makes a clattering noise. We're gonna... As it sort of clatters to the ground, you can sort of... There's like dust. And it's almost as if like a layer of dust had been covering this road, and it sort of billows up. And it just sort of images start to form. Very familiar sights. Minotaur's hooves. Very pink tiefling. A familiar leather jacket. But something's wrong. The horns are broken. The hooves are limp. The jacket is stained. As you walk, you can see these things repeating over and over and over again as you walk down the street with only war in your head for company.
It's a shame that you like this. And that you're like this. I feel sorry for you.
Hun, I don't like this. This is messy. This is you.
As much as I try, will it always be this way?
Does it always end this way?
You're the great planner.
That doesn't mean I know the future, hun. Is this what you can do?
I don't know. Never tried.
Is this what would happen if you did?
Then I don't ever want to try. It's better than I'm not smart, I guess.
And with that, we're going to pan over to the other 3. As you sort of reel and reek from this crash of a chandelier, and you sort of start to stumble and the dust clears, you don't see what Cepheus sees. You kind of stumble back to your feet, and you are in a very empty space. It is almost like when you first entered into the well dark sky with a dark ground that is covered with maybe an inch of water. And as you sort of scramble up and it just sort of sloughs off you like liquid shadow, you are again sort of surrounded by that fog. All three of you are kind of within close proximity, but Seth is nowhere to be found. And as
Seth!
you can hear the clatter of a very familiar great axe plinking into the water.
I go towards the clatter.
Okay.
Can I try something?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I want to message Seth.
Ooh, okay. Roll me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh. Okay. Oh, that was good. That's a 23.
The message goes through.
Dope. Seth, where are you? We're in the well, but you're not here. You were just here. Where did you go? We're concerned. Can you get back to us? Tell us where you are and we'll come find you. You respond to this message.
This is my fault. I wasn't watching him. I was distracted because of the dancing and because of my father. I was distracted. I didn't see what happened to him. Did anybody see what happened to my brother?
Yeah, I saw her. Sarah, don't beat yourself up. Cepheus didn't even try and avoid it.
Well, what happened?
It all happened so fast.
Black stuff running around, and I was like, Cepheus, jump out of the way. Look, it's gonna get you. And he was like, there's no point. It's gonna get me anyway. I might as well just accept it.
Am I able to localize where the clang came from?
Considering this is an entirely empty space, yeah, it's really easy to find it.
All right. I move
You
towards
can
it.
see Cepheus kind of doubled over on the ground. Still, maybe?
I rush over to him. Is he?
Cepheus, you look up. And I need you to make me another intelligence saving throw.
God. Screw it. Let's just straight roll it again. A 12.
12 isn't bad. A 12 isn't bad. That means you rolled a 15.
Seth.
Wow.
Are you okay, Seth?
Cepheus, as you kind of look up from where you're standing, you see something start charging towards you. On a 12, it almost looks like a shadow of you. But not you normally. It's the you that you hate to see when you look in the mirror. That anger across the face. Tense and destructive. And it runs towards you.
Seth is going to stand like he's about to get hit by a vehicle, like a car.
Okay.
But he's not going to attack, or he doesn't look like he's posed to attack, just to take a hit.
Okay. Cepheus, you can run up to your brother.
I mean, Sisera?
Sorry, Susira, sorry. I'm mixing up the brothers.
I rush up to him. Seth! Is he still doubled over, or is he standing up?
He's standing up now.
Seth, are you okay? What happened to you?
As you look into Cepheus's eyes, they are clouded over again with red.
Seth, snap out of it.
Jasira, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Was Seth able to hear me?
I was about to ask the same thing.
Steph was able to.
I
With that 20,
rolled
it came through. 8? Okay, we'll get to that in a...
an 8.
Sisira, your words don't... Cepheus does not hear what you say, Sisira. Cepheus does, however, hear what Bubbles says.
Oh God.
It kind of sounds like warbled and like almost like through water, but you are able to hear it.
Seth doesn't know how message works, so he's going to think as hard as he can in his mind to reply to the message and just say, I'm okay. I will be okay. Don't try to find me where I am. I'll find you.
Run.
I don't want you to see what's here. I'll see you soon. And then that's it.
Bubbles will run over to where Cicera is, and she'll kneel by Cepheus's.
Cepheus is standing now.
Okay, she'll stand by Cepheus's body, and she'll grab his hand because that's on brand for her today, and she'll say, he messaged me back. He says he doesn't want us to see what he's seeing right now. He's fine. But he wants...
Does he look fine to you? I'm sorry,
know,
I shouldn't have snapped at you.
It's okay, but I think he wants to do this on his own. I think that he believes he's gonna be okay, so I believe he's gonna be okay.
Okay.
You two, Cicera and Bubbles, roll my perception checks.
Ooh, that's an 18. I'm rolling fire tonight, y'all.
I rolled
got
10.
pumped.
Okay. 10 was the DC, because it isn't that hard to notice. As you kind of say this, where you're touching Cepheus, where you're like holding his hand, starts to glow faintly. A faint golden light. And Cepheus, as you kind of look around and as you sort of think really, really hard and send that message over to Bubbles, you can start seeing cracks of golden light start to appear in the buildings around you. And War in the back of your head says, you really do care about them, don't you?
Yeah.
Why?
To keep me alive. So,
You
feel
don't
like I should
need
do the
them to
same.
keep you alive. You're strong enough. You took so many hits when I was...
Strength
You know.
isn't just about taking hits. Or dealing them.
Are they the reason you fight?
They're the reason I defend.
And there's more cracks that sort of appear in the sky around you. Bubbles, with that 18, I will say, as you kind of hold your hand and you see that glow sort of pulse, you can see something similar start to sort of flicker across Cepheus's eyes, and there's that sort of golden light almost that sort of just ripples across that what is red, sort of kind of covering his eyes. Skuka, you last saw Bubbles and Cicera run off to to find Cepheus sort of not non-responsive, standing there sort of limp. As you sort of get closer, you can see where they're kind of holding him and almost guiding him is sort of pulsing with the gentle golden light. Do you stay back?
Sorry, what? His hand is pulsing. This is in Seph's head, or is this something
No, this
we're
is in
seeing?
you seeing. Bubbles and Cicera, and well, now Skooka's kind of getting closer. Where you're kind of touching Cepheus, it's starting to glow with a faint golden light.
I don't leave my brother. I just hold his hand tighter while he's
And it
dealing
starts
with
to
whatever
glow.
he's dealing with.
Skooka, this is what you see. What do you do?
I'll hang back. It looks like they probably need time. I don't want to, ruin a mood or anything right now.
Okay.
With that, Bubbles will turn to Skuka and she'll kind of do a nod. She'll make eye contact and she'll be like, "Come on."
It takes exactly that many.
Yeah, that many at least, and some now larger movements.
Yeah, Skuka starts pacing over.
Okay.
We pull
Okay.
a Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah, no, pretty
Volume
much.
1 and hold each other's hands.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm sorry, I wasn't ripping that off. What are you talking about? No. As you do. Cepheus, there's more cracks start to appear in the vision, and you kind of hear war go in your head. So what else is your strength? Is it them?
Of course. What else could it be?
I've met a lot of generals over the years, a lot of fighters, a lot of people who fight and fight and fight, but I don't think I've ever met someone quite as interesting as you. And make me one last intelligence saving throw, but I will give you an advantage. It's not one of my advantages, it's just you were really, really nice, so you get an advantage. You
Just
touched
nice
your
to
DMs.
war, or
You were nice to war, so you get an advantage here. Okay. Wow. Well, bound to run out sooner or later.
Ooh.
Well, it's a 4.
Okay. On that, there are more cracks that start to appear in your vision as the buildings and the ground start to crack away. And then there's that sudden lurch again of fear of, my friends mean so much to me. What if I hurt them? And then you get a strong flash of a tunnel underground with opalescent roots sort of swirling around it. It's a memory of you swinging your axe at your brother, knocking him within inches of unconsciousness. You don't have control of your body, and it's that fiery red haze is your rage. And that memory just comes surging to the forefront, and again, this vision sort of almost starts to knit closed. What do you do?
Seth is just going to let out just kind of this scream of pain. Just almost like when you hurt yourself real bad and it's just that release.
Okay. And and you yell. And you yell and you yell and you yell until your voice sort of scratches against your throat and it hurts. And it's almost as if as you yell, the area around you ripples. Like wind blusters through it. Skuka, Bubbles, Susira, Cepheus starts screaming.
I'm gonna cast message if anybody else has anything else that they want to do.
Yeah. Given the context of what's going on, I really don't think this will help, but I'm going to try it anyway. Oh God. Decisions. Do I cast Lesser Restoration or Sanctuary on him? Or Protection from Evil? Which one do you think might help more?
This is what Susira thinks. What does Susira think will
No,
help?
he's asking Bubbles. Bubbles. Bubbles probably doesn't know any more than Susira does.
Yeah. Bubbles is more academic than this.
I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration on Seth.
Okay.
Okay, you do that. That is a thing that happens.
Okay. While that happens,
And I hold his hand even tighter.
yeah. Bubbles, being so concerned, this is her like best friend, her first friend. She will dive into his chest and hug him very tight and then send him a message like, it's okay, we're still here, I promise, we didn't leave you. Are you okay? You can respond to this message.
Cepheus, you hear that. But it doesn't come through like the first message did, when it was like warbly and like coming through thick air, or like that sort of underwater feeling. You hear it because you can sort of blink and open your eyes, and Bubbles is hugging you tightly. And you hear her voice clear as day through your head. We're here. We're not leaving you.
Obviously, Seth is gonna not be screaming anymore.
Yes.
And scream.
He's going to grip Sisera's hand back tightly. And he's going to put his other hand on top of Bubbles' head. I told you I'd come back and that I'd find you.
Bubbles just holds on tighter.
He'll put his free arm just all the way around and
Bubbles, make me a perception check.
Oh, jeez, crazy.
oh no.
Oh, I swear to God. That's an 18. Very perceptive. I'm on edge.
Seth is also going to give Skuka a nod before anything.
As you sort of pull away from this hug and you look around, you're no longer in that dark and empty space. You are in a neighborhood. It's unfamiliar to everyone except for Bubbles. This looks familiar. Looks like home. You look to your left and you see your old house.
I move toward it.
You can.
I do. Do I see my little like shack in the back? Like my little library, my little oasis?
Yeah, you do.
Okay. I kind of like inherently move towards that. Kind of very quietly, because the last time I was here, it was very quiet.
And as you sort of walk over to your shack, it looks almost as exactly as you left it. And Bubbles, would you describe to me what your mom looks like?
Yeah, she has pink skin, very similar to mine. She looks very similar to Bubbles. However, much slightly taller. She has like a floral apron on and like a beautiful kind of like house dress on. Her hair is kind of up to her right underneath her chin, and it's curly. She looks like a spitting image of Bubbles, really, except her skin isn't illuminescent like Bubbles is.
And as you walk around to this back area, all of you see this. You see Bubbles' mom sort of watering something in like one of those hanging pots, and she kind of turns and looks at you and just gives you a big grin. Sweetie, you're home.
Mama?
Hi, Bubbles.
And Bubbles will dart and like run towards her and just take her in a very big hug.
And it feels like a hug you have waited for your entire life. It is warm. It just sort of wraps you up in like a blanket. And your mom sort of looks over your shoulder. You brought your friends.
I did, Mama. Come, I'll introduce them. The very big one is Cepheus. I tutor him. He's doing really well. This is his brother, Sarah. He's such a good dancer, Mama. And this is a very special friend of mine. This is Skaka. He's very nice. You'll really like them. Guys, this is my mama.
If they're friends with you, they must be wonderful people. Hi, it's lovely to meet you.
Pleasure is ours.
Nice to meet you. Should I call you Ma?
You can call me whatever you want. You're Bubbles' friend, so you're welcome. Thank you for taking care of my little girl. What did you come inside?
She took care of us.
And she gives you an extra squeeze around your shoulders, and in your ear she kind of whispers, "That's my girl." Oh, come on, let's go inside. Let's get something to eat, get something to drink. Come on.
Okay. And she'll kind of let everybody else go ahead of her.
Your mom kind of opens like the back door, the backyard door, and sort of lets you all walk in. She gestures for you to go in front of her, but she still keeps an arm around your shoulder as you two walk in. And as you all enter this house, everyone roll me perception checks.
I got a nat 20.
Good. Perfect.
I know. I was gonna purposely fail, but I was like, no, I got a nat 20. That's the universe.
This is pretty
That's I
good.
think the third time rolling the same number with both dice.
I know.
tonight.
What is wrong with your roll 20? Yikes. But as you walk into this house, it is almost exactly as you left it, Bubbles, but there's something lighter about it. There's a warmth to this house. And all of you notice this as you kind of walk around. There are pictures on the walls and on like the fireplace mantle and like on like the side table of the couch as a house would, but as you kind of look around, they're not just pictures from Bubbles' past. There's pictures of you four
no.
together.
No!
It's
Wait, what?
There's pictures of you four kind of scattered around this house. There's you.
No, I heard you. That's what Cecira is saying in person. In character.
Okay, my internet just went like total crapshoot. I didn't hear anything. I was like, what is happening?
Okay, hi.
Mini freak out.
There are photos around this house. This house looks exactly as you left it, but there's a warmth and a light to it. It seems to glow from the inside, and as you look around, there are photos everywhere. They're not of your past, though. They're of you four. There's photos of you at the diner laughing with each other. Photos of you on the beach together. Photos of you at graduation, even though that hasn't happened yet. Photos of you at each other's weddings, with each other's families. This long, long history of a potential future all four of you have together. And some of those photos, your mom is there too.
Seth is taking in as many of these photos as he can as he walks through this house.
You can pick one up, and it's the four of you at graduation. All of you somehow in this photo, you've graduated in the same year, despite everything. Cepheus, you managed to pull through, and you graduated on time with everyone else. And it's that traditional freeze frame where you're kind of jumping and throwing your hats in the air, and your smiles are beaming with light.
I pick up the wedding photo.
It's a photo of your wedding, I suppose. The person you're marrying doesn't look entirely familiar yet, but there you look radiant. You are dressed to the nines. The other three are Cepheus is your best man. The other Bubbles and Skuka are part of your wedding party. There are flowers on a little archway. You look happy.
What's going on here?
Mama, is there any tea made? Can I make some tea?
Yeah, I can put some on the stove quick if you want.
Yeah, I could do it too. I'll just do it.
And you can. The kitchen is exactly as you left it. Skuka, what are you doing? As you sort of see these photos.
I'm sort of staring at most of them in disbelief, to be honest. I'm hardcore internalizing and rationalizing right now. Just looking around, taking in information. Sort of with a face on, a face. Hi, a presentable face. This is my presentable face.
Okay. As you look around, you and you alone make me a perception check.
Don't like that.
As sort of Bubbles bustles off to the kitchen to make tea, and Cecira and Cepheus are kind of absorbed in these pictures, you kind of find yourself following some of these pictures down the hallway. You still see them, just a bunch of pictures of you and your friends, this long, long-lasting friendship that lasts, this bond that is stronger. It just keeps going. It doesn't end. They stay with you. They keep staying with you. You see pictures of their families, and you just sort of walk down this hallway, and you just see these years pass in these photos. And then there is a tap on your arm.
So before the tap happens, like, Scooker will start be taken by like a morbid desire. And he's looking for any pictures that might have something like, I don't know, maybe a trip to Vegas. Or, you know, Fantasy Vegas. Or like one of those other things, like, you know, anything that involves, I don't know, drinking, gambling, living to excess.
Okay, roll me. What's your highest stat out of intelligence, wisdom, and charisma?
Charisma.
Roll me a charisma
Just.
saving throw.
Oh, and that I'm proficient in.
Yikes. That's really good. As you walk and you start thinking this, there's like, around you, there's like a shimmer that kind of runs down the hallways and the pictures start to change. You start removing yourself from the photos. You start disappearing from their photos. And those pictures of you partying, living it up, they start appearing on the walls.
Alone.
Alone.
Does Seth see this?
Nope.
Even in the pictures he's holding, this looks like Skooka's still there.
Roll me a perception check.
Ooh, we going with advantage this time. It still wasn't that great.
Looks fine.
What is this picture? I mean, it's an interesting photo. Skook is now not in it.
Now, Skooka looks like they're still in it.
Okay,
It's
good.
fine. Skooka, those photos that you have willed into existence are kind of surrounding you. Is there anything else you do as you kind of traipse down this hallway?
Nah, as soon as I see that happen, I pretty much stop dead. And putting on the happy face. Because we're meeting Bubbles' ma. Gets a lot harder.
And there's a tap on your shoulder.
Turn.
Hello, friend. And you see old Scratch kind of leaning up against one of the doors.
Hey.
Well, you look like you're having a marvelous time, aren't you?
So, like, is this where you do the thing? Where you, like, figure out whatever it is that I desire most and, like, offer me some kind of deal for it?
No, that's not me. That's the well you foolishly jumped into. I just sort of weaseled my way in here, and well, this isn't the place you want to get trapped in. So I figured I would make a show of good faith. Show up.
Nice suit, by the way.
Thank you, Sebastian Cruz.
Of course it is.
So tell me, do you really want to meet Bubbles' mom, or would you rather see something far more interesting? It'll only take a second, really.
It'll just take a second, because, you know, I don't want to be... I want to be there for my friends, you know.
Alright, yeah.
What?
It'll only take a second, just come on. And he sort of turns a knob on a door and leans back in such a way that it just sort of opens behind him. After you, my friend.
Kuka looks back so guiltily towards his friends. towards all the photos. Just a second, right? We won't be long at all.
Not at all.
All right. Step through the door.
Okay. We'll get to what you see in a bit. The rest of you, Bubbles, you're making tea.
I always remember my mother had an assortment of tea. Chamomile, green mint, peppermint, black, an assortment of herbal if we so wanted. So I'm really just putting a kettle on and then shouting at the group. What does everybody want? Mom, you normally do one of your herbals. I remember that. But Cepheus, Cicera, Skuka, what would you like?
Cepheus Cicera, you hear Bubbles' voice ring out through the house.
Just a regular tea will be fine.
Okay. She gives them black tea, just regular black tea. Do you want sugar in that?
Before you do that, your mom kind of pokes her head through the kitchen doorway and says, "Oh, sweetie, I think he'll really like the peppermint."
Oh, okay. I'll do peppermint then. Do you want any milk or sugar in your peppermint tea, Seth?
Honey, if you have it.
I got honey. What kind do you want, Seth? Just peppermint?
You should definitely give him the lavender.
Okay. Seth, I'm gonna give you the lavender. I think you'll really like it. And I'll give you honey in that too. And so
trust your judgment.
she'll start preparing teas. She figures that Cicera would probably just want his straight without any milk or sugar.
You know, like honey would be fine.
Maybe a little bit of honey.
No. Yeah.
Nothing extra. And then she'll go, Skuka.
Don't hear him? He doesn't respond.
Skuka.
Oh, he's probably in the bathroom, dear. Oh, that's not your mom's accent. That's British. She's
That's
probably
very-
in the bathroom, dear.
Okay. I'll just make as usual.
I think he'd like the chai, to be honest. We can just make it. We can keep it warm. We can just keep it warm, and I have one of those thermoses that, keep drinks warm. So we can just have it sit out, and when he's done, we can give it to him.
Okay. We honestly, he and I both drink a lot of green tea.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think I'll just make him the green tea. But thank you, Mom. That's so sweet. Do you want some chai?
I was just gonna have my usual chamomile, but thank you.
Okay. Okay. I'll make your usual. And so she starts making everybody's tea.
And you see your mom kind of bustle around you, and there's as she kind of it's a Tupperware, and she kind of opens it, and there's a batch of freshly made cookies. If you actually look at them closely, they look like one of Seth's recipes. One of his old recipes. And your mom just sort of puts them out on a plate and just says, "Yeah, your friend sort of shared this recipe with me a while ago. It's really good. Your friend, Cepheus, he's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful cook. Really, you should have him over more."
Yeah, he is really wonderful.
You okay?
Yeah. When did you get that from him? When did you get that recipe from him?
I think maybe it was around your graduation. I was throwing a party for you and I wanted to cook something special, and I mean, I know you weren't really the biggest about big parties, so I just wanted to make something special. So I kind of asked Cepheus secretly what your favorite recipe of his was, and he taught me, and I made this, and we've kind of been exchanging recipes for a while now.
Yeah, he's such a talented baker. I mean,
He's so sweet too.
he's so sweet. He's my best friend. Mom,
Yes.
can you tell me, because I'm a little confused. Have you been here always?
Oh, hi Raiders. Welcome in.
Hi, Raiders. Welcome.
I've been here, and she sort of just bops your chest. Cheesy as it is.
Yeah, I know. You've always been there, but I mean, you're in our home, and you weren't there for a really long time. So I'm wondering, when did you come back, and where did you go between the years of, I don't know, 6 and now, or when I graduated, or even before then?
And you see her expression sort of change from that very motherly smile to something a little more sad. Right. Yeah. We should probably sit down. This will be better over tea.
Okay. I'll give everybody their tea first. And she'll fit all 3 mugs in between her tiny little hands, and she'll head over to Cicera and Seth, and she'll hand them their mugs.
Okay. As you do, I want
Thank you.
everyone to make me wisdom saving throws.
I got another nat 20.
Good lord!
Oof.
11.
It is meant to be!
It is meant to be. Zelda, make me
Am I
wisdom saving
also?
throw.
Okay.
Yes, everyone here is making a
Everyone
wisdom saving
here.
throw. Yeah, you gotta do it. Well, it's not a nat 1, so you're lucky.
You're lucky.
You are very lucky.
Lucky.
But
So lucky.
So lucky.
Lucky
You-
boy.
Cicera, you're kind of looking.
Mhm.
What photo are you looking at right now? Are you still looking at the wedding photo? Or are you looking at something else?
I think I've moved on from the photos, which did captivate my attention for a little while, but now I'm just looking around the rest of Bubbles' home for anything interesting.
You kind of, as you're kind of looking around, you see another photo around, one of the photos, on the, as Bubbles sort of brings these out to, the living room area and sort of sets them out on the coffee table. You kind of catch one of the photos on the mantle,
Mhm.
and it's weird because you see yourself, you see Cepheus, you see Bubbles, and
But
then you
no
see someone else.
Skuko.
No, you see someone else in that photo. It's a hobgoblin with a mohawk, and you can't really place them. You don't know why they're there.
Oh. Oh no. Oh.
And as you kind of look at the photo a little
And
bit
is
more,
this
it starts
is this
to-
another photo from the future, or is it a photo
This
from the
is
past?
a photo of you 4 at the diner. And you see you're sitting with Cepheus and Bubbles, and you're laughing and you're eating, and that hobgoblin's there too. And he looks happy, I think. He's laughing. You don't know why though.
I pick up the
You
photo.
look like he should be familiar, but it's not. And as you pick it up, that almost as if in response to that sort of unfamiliarity, he fades from the picture. And it's just you 3 in a booth at a diner.
Hey, Bubbles.
Yeah?
I was gonna ask you who this hobgoblin guy is, but he just vanished from the picture. It's the weirdest thing. Did we ever used to hang out with a hobgoblin?
Do I remember a hobgoblin?
With that wisdom saving throw, you do. But it's fuzzy.
Yeah, Skaka, right? He was here, right?
Was he? You're not sure.
I don't...
Squooka. I mean, sure, okay. The name rings a bell. The name doesn't ring a bell.
I will say, Cecilia, when you say Skuka, your mouth kind of, it feels like it's something you've said before, because it's like, it doesn't feel unfamiliar the way you say it, but like, it's like on the tip of your tongue. You know that. You know who that is.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Oh, yeah, he was the one who, what was he, he was the one who did the, what was he, he had a car, I think, right?
Yeah, it was a Mini Coupe, I think. It didn't work very well.
It had a
remember
problem
that.
starting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
What?
that. Yeah, whatever
What
happened to that guy?
Yeah, what happened to him?
Whatever happened to that guy?
As you ask what happened to him? Or, Cepheus, were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say, Seth's gonna pick up a nearby pen and piece of paper,
Okay.
and in his chicken scratch kind of scrawl, is gonna try and fail a few times, but try and spell out Skuka's name.
Okay. As you ask what happened to him, Bubbles and Cepheus make me wisdom saving throws again.
Ooh, let's go with advantage this time. I'm not
Yeah,
pulling off
I
saves.
want to... Do I have an auto success?
Let me check the overlay. You have an auto success, Raven.
Okay, I want to auto succeed. I don't want to forget Skaka.
Okay. Cepheus, you try writing out this name. And it's like when you stare at a word for too long, it just doesn't look right. You don't remember seeing this name before?
He's gonna keep trying to spell it, and he's gonna keep spelling it in different ways.
Skauta.
Just as many ways as he can possibly phonetically spell this name.
Skuka, yeah. And you can. Maybe one of them's right. I don't know. And the more you kind of write this name, the less familiar it seems. It feels like you're just getting farther and farther away from whatever this was. Why were you writing this in the first place?
Bubbles, do any of these look right to you? I'm not a great speller or writer or anything like that, but
You did so well, and she'll come kind of right underneath where he spelled Skuka's name wrong the last time, and she'll spell it out the correct way.
I think he used to live with someone we knew, didn't he? Like he was a friend of he was a roommate of a friend of ours. Is that how we knew him?
Yeah,
I honestly don't remember.
I think it was really important.
And as you kind of write this name out, the pen sort of stutters in your hand, kind of around the bend of the U. And you pause for a moment and you have to study that word. You remember who it's attached to. You remember who Skuka is. But it's like slippery. It's like when you have that false memory and you're not sure if it's a real memory or not. But you still remember him. You remember a hobgoblin with wild purple hair, and you remember being with him. You remember falling in love with him at some point. It's fuzzy, but you remember that. And you can, after that stutter, you're able to write out his name. And as you do, there is a mug of tea kind of sit next to you, and your mom kind of comes over. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I almost forgot somebody very important to me.
Oh, well, here. This is you've always been smart, Bubbles. I'm assuming you guess this isn't entirely a normal place. This is kind of lost things. It's a complicated story. Sit down. And she kind of guides you to a seat on the couch and sort of sits around you. She gestures for Cicera and Cepheus to sit.
Bubbles will take her book bag.
I sit as well.
Which she has with her always, and she'll take out her journal to take notes. But she'll look at her journal and she'll see what I guess would be previous entries.
Yeah.
Just like kind of flipping through.
As you flip through, make me another wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I'm gonna do an advantage.
Okay. Please remember to tell Scrap that you used an auto success, because I'm not gonna remember.
Ooh, I don't think I have an audit. Oh, okay. Just before.
You don't anymore.
I don't
used it.
anymore. Ooh, that was good. What is my saving throw? Ooh, it's +4. That's 21.
Ooh, on a 21, you kind of flip through this book, and you see the entry from the day when you and Skuka had your first kiss. And that you read back that recounting of that moment in the park where he was sitting with you and you talked about your parents and your upbringing and how lonely you felt. And the way he was there for you, the way he put his arm around you and didn't pressure you to do anything. He just kissed you. And that moment kind of burns bright, and it sort of carries on into this place. That memory of like not having your mom and then losing your dad and feeling lost, and then that feeling of belonging that you felt kind of in that moment, it sort of radiates out into this place. Maybe it's bleed from reading that entry, or maybe it's something else, but it's that comfort that this is safe, this is lasting. And maybe what you had with Skuka didn't last, but this house, when you're sitting with your best friends and your mom, this feels like it could last. This feels good. It feels solid.
I will put the journal up on the table, and before my mother starts to talk about whatever it is that she's talking about, Bubbles will send a message to Skuka before she forgets. And all it will say is, I love you. And that's it.
Heck. Okay.
My heart.
I'm like about to cry. I'm feeling so many emotions right now. I need more Skittles. No more Skittles.
Okay. Perfect. And as you sit down and you send that message, we're gonna go pan over to what Scratticus sees as he follows old Scratch himself into a room.
Oh my god!
He appeared out of nowhere like a ghost.
Where did he come from? The spook.
And you are able to, and you follow old Scratch to this door, and there is a shimmer of gold light. And you're not standing in that house anymore. You're not in the suburbs anymore. It's beautiful. It's like a penthouse. You can see the nighttime sky outside the window with these glittering lights. The inside is this luxurious sort of these cream-colored walls and these finely, like, a wide kitchen with a bar, and it has behind it, it's the stock of every liquor and alcohol you can imagine. This beautiful sort of gilded countertop of, like, it's marble, but it's interwoven with these gilded gold lines. In the corner, there's a jukebox playing what you would call the devil's music, but also it's good tunes. And as you look down at your clothes, they themselves have changed. You are wearing something very similar to what Old Scratch is wearing. A very nicely, perfectly tailored suit. Nice shoes.
Jeffrey West, nice.
I like to treat my friends to the best, obviously.
I mean, say the devil looks after his own. That's what you're all about, right? Really? Like, looking after your friends.
Of course. I may be the devil, my friend, but that does not mean I am an uncharitable person. I share the things I have.
Right. Like, I mean, obviously. I mean, look at our culture. Look at all of it.
Right? There's so many people out there, and he sort of gestures to the window. All those people out there, they're always so stuck up about what they think is good or bad, but really, it's just they don't want to have fun. And you, my friend, of all people, know how to have fun. And an old Scratch sort of walks over to the bar and sort of gestures. What do you want? Anything?
Anything. Well, hell, what do you drink?
This is Mac not knowing what liquor is. The devil says something. I don't know liquor.
Alright, yeah. I'll have that, why not? Director's edition, you say. Fine.
Alright. And God, everyone in Zoom chat is yelling at me. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to legally drink, okay? The devil grabs a bottle from one of the counters and pours 2 glasses and sort of casually slides one over.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. Shame we can't have this all the time. Takes a sip.
Can't you?
Well, not as things stand right now. With everything out there, there's so many people who just are so stuck up about what is good and what isn't in the world. It just sort of puts a damper on my operations. I mean, not for long, hopefully, if everything goes according to plan.
Is that why you've brought me here? Are you doing the leader thing where they just, like, you know, tell everyone the plan?
Depends, are you on board?
Do I need to, like... I mean, if I say anything like that, I mean, you know, like, let's say, hypothetically, let's say I was on board, right? Let's just say, hypothetically, I was. Let's just say.
All right.
What does that?
Hypothetically.
What does that mean for Sarah and Bubbles?
Well, I won't. I'm not going to hurt them. If that's what you're doing, I am not going to hurt them. That's honestly, I don't have time for that.
But I mean, like, the photos in Bubbles' ma's house, like, they were all,
Right.
you know, like, nice, and I was looking for like this, and he just gestures to all of this. I didn't like see any of it, and then when I thought about that, suddenly I appeared on my own. Like, do I have to give up my friends to come and like do this? I guess. Question.
Roll me a persuasion check. Or a deception check, I don't know.
I should have used an advantage. I was cocky.
What did you roll?
A 12
Okay.
with a +9 modifier.
Oof. That's rough, my friend. Old Scratch sort of looks at you and takes a sip. Well, here's the thing, my friends. With the whole ending the world thing, it's not really ending the world. It's just sort of shifting things around, making this, and he gestures around, not every day. And I'm sure your friends will still be around after that, so you would be more than welcome to share in this with them or not. It doesn't really matter. That is your choice. And like I said, I don't really deal with making you choose things.
So, like, just making, you know, a good time more accessible to people.
Sure.
Kind of.
Of course. More people could have fun. More people could drink and enjoy pleasure and celebrate the little things. No more worrying about school or what other people think of you. No worrying about if you're pretty enough to do a job. Just having fun.
I mean, I'd like to bring my friends with me. Perhaps I could get us all in on this. You know, like, we could all help you. Give me enough time, maybe I could, you know, I could convince them. You know, they're reasonable people. They must see there's no logic behind, like, destroying the world. You just want to try and make it, you know, a little better, like it's in your own image, right? That's what I'd want to do if I was in your shoes.
Kind of leans over the table. Tell me, my friend, did they really seem on board with all of this back in that cavern with the tree? They were about to. They didn't understand that this is what being me is. That evil is just. It's not real. It's just fun. Do you think they would understand, no matter how many words you sent at them? Do you really think they'd stay with you if they knew?
And Skuka is going to, like, physically see the hurt on Bubbles' face when he was, like, complimenting the Devil's Taste in music or something like that. The face that she pulled when she was telling him off. And sort of closes his eyes for a minute. No, I don't see it. They wouldn't even give you a chance to explain yourself.
I
And
know
like,
your friends tried to punch me even. Really, and I had done nothing.
I mean, that's just Cicera's way, you know, like, you can't put the devil in front of him and expect him not to try and punch it. That's like,
Well, did he punch you when you first met him?
Skuka thinks back.
Well. Well.
I mean, maybe not as hard.
he knew? What if he knows this is what you wanted? You're not a good person, Skuka. You know that. Do you think any of them would stay with you if they knew that this is what we had planned? They tried to stop you.
I don't want to hurt them anymore. Any of them.
I think you know the only way to stop that. And he holds out his hand. Come on, my friend. You won't have to hurt them anymore. You know staying with them. You know it's either you're going to leave or they're going to leave. It doesn't last. Not with people like you, not with people like us. At least not yet. We can change that. We fix the world. They won't ever be hurt again and you can keep your friends. Come on.
I love her, Satan.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you
That's why.
think someone like...
No, I get it. That's why I've already started leaving. That's why I've got to leave them, right?
You're a very smart person, Skuka.
What else have you got to show me? I step towards the devil.
He holds out his hand. I'll show you. Come on.
Alright.
Do you take the devil's hand?
I bet he moisturizes. I bet it's soft.
Only one way to find out, my friend.
I take his hand.
Cool. We're gonna pan over to what everyone else sees.
Oh no.
It's tears. Everyone else sees
Only tears.
Only tears. My paper mache horns for him are ruined. Oh. Goodness.
You sit down with your mom. With Bubbles' mom.
Yes. My mama.
And she starts to talk. She starts to explain a little bit about, you know, this isn't, this is sort of a possibility space. What could happen? It's a little vague and a little fuzzy, mainly because the entire time you're preoccupied with that feeling that something's missing. There's not something there. Bubbles, make me another wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I'm gonna use
This
advantage.
is really good peppermint tea. And everything is right in the world and nothing is wrong.
Something's not right. 19.
19?
I need people to give me more advantages.
On a 19, you start
have three,
flipping
right?
your journal. You start flipping through that journal, and you kind of go back to those pages, and who was this person again? it feels so close. They seem like they meant a lot to you. And as you kind of look around the room, as you look at all the photos, Skuka starts fading out of them, little bit by little bit.
Mama, do you remember who that person is that's like fading out of the pictures? Do you remember who he is?
Someone's fading out of the pictures?
Yeah. I'm having such a hard time.
It's okay, Bubbles. It's gonna be okay.
I don't know. I'm getting really overwhelmed. He's so important.
And your mom kind of grips your shoulders.
Okay.
Look at me. Are It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Bubbles, it's okay. Think about all the things we've already done. The three of us together, we restored the world tree. We can do anything. The three of us together can do anything.
The three of us.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay.
Why are you here? Why are you here? But why are you here? You haven't been here. We haven't graduated. I'm 19. I'm 19 years old. I'm super smart, but I'm not that smart. I haven't graduated. Mom, why are you here? Why do you have these pictures? Where is that person? He's in my journal. Where is he?
What are you talking about, Bubbles? It's only ever been you three.
I don't know what's wrong with my friend, but she's clearly distressed, so I'm gonna give her a hug.
You can.
I accept.
They're there, Bubbles. They're there.
But, Cecilia, you don't remember? It was just the three of us, and I'm 19, and my mother hasn't been here since I was 6.
As you say that, there is a very distinct sort of rumble in the ground. And your mom's expression sort of changes to one of solemnness and sadness. So he made his choice. And that's when the memories start rushing back.
For all of us?
All of you. You remember Skuka. Hellraiser, troublemaker.
What decisions?
And the house around you starts fading away.
Mama?
Starts disappearing into mist.
Mama,
The photos start wisping away like dust. The tea sort of floats off. Everything sort of just disappears in this sort of fading red mist. And your mom kind of grips your hand and goes, "I'm sorry. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I promise. It's just you know this happens every time. People leave. People leave. It's what happens.
Don't leave me.
I'm sorry." And as you kind of look over your shoulder, you see Skuka hand in hand with a very, very familiar silhouette.
Do I see this?
Everyone sees this. As you are suddenly surrounded by this red mist, sort of silhouetted there, you see the familiar mohawk and shape of Skuka walking hand in hand with that silhouette of a man with a long coat with short cropped hair and sort of faint wings behind him. And they're walking away from you.
Seth's axe unfolds.
Skuka?
You can hear it click.
Mama, come back.
Sorry, I'm sorry. It wasn't my choice. And she starts wisping away.
Sasira tries to activate his divine smites, and he takes both his fists, which we've already established are pretty great, and he just like focuses all of his rage into them, but they don't glow. He's spent. He's out of energy for the day.
Seth's full
Got
charging
no more
towards them.
divine smite.
Definitely
He's dashing. He's using all of
Did
his
Skuka hear
movement.
my message?
getting to it.
Okay.
Skuka, as you kind of take the devil's hand, the air around you sort of shimmers. And it starts to fade away, and you are suddenly surrounded by this sort of thick red mist. And the devil just sort of guides you to look behind you. And you see your three friends. Bubbles visibly distraught. Sisira trying to get these punches. And Cepheus charging full tilt towards the pair of you. And before Cepheus can get to you, the devil just sort of raises up a hand. And there's a wall of fog that just sort of separates you, obscuring you from vision. And the last thing you hear, Skuka, is Bubbles' voice in your head saying, I love you.
Hurts, donut. Hey, Scrat, do you want a Hertz donut?
I would love a Hertz donut, thank you.
Cepheus, you try, this wall of fog hits you, and you try to run, and you feel like you're running forever and forever, but you're not hitting anything. It doesn't feel like you're moving. There's nothing there.
How close were they to us before the smoke obscured them?
We will say 30 feet.
30 feet? Because I have one last trick up my sleeve that is
certainly try.
30 feet distance. I have no spell slots left. However, and I have not used this yet once, but paladins have an ability called Channel Divinity. Turn the unholy, and this guy is definitely a fiend. So I'm going to scream, even though I can no longer see him, get away from him! And each fiend, if he is a fiend, I'm sure he probably is, each fiend that can either see or hear me within 30 feet must make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Cool.
I think
Cool.
Cicera successfully says, "Get thee behind me, Satan!"
Yes.
I was trying to take a sip of my beer. My ginger beer. It's ginger beer.
Ginger beer.
I'm not legal, so it's very much soda. But yeah, okay. I will say this much. You yell the hardest you've ever yelled, and it ripples through this fog. And you again see that silhouette. And I will get to what happens in a bit. Kuga. The devil just sort of looks at you. Very well. Are you happy?
No.
You made your choice.
No, I'm not happy at all.
So why not?
What do you mean? I thought now we go and, give them space, time to grieve, and I don't know, I go and do something else.
Depends what you want to do.
I don't know what I want to do. Of course, I'm gonna be sad for a while.
Why? You did this to yourself. And you watch as the shape that was in front of you that looked like Mr. Scratch starts to shift. That wrinkled skin sort of smooths, turns a shade of green. His ears elongate to points. That short cropped gray hair starts to flare up into a purple mohawk. He's still wearing the same long coat, and it still fits him very, very well. But it's not Old Scratch. It's you. devil was never here, Skuka. You did this to yourself.
Are you? Who are you?
I'm you. I'm the part of you that you don't want to recognize. The bad part. I hope you like the decision you made today. It was all on you. Everything you saw, that was all on you. That was something that came out of your head. Have fun living with that.
Booker is gobsmacked.
This figure starts to melt a little. What were you gonna say?
Has no words. Just pain.
And you watch as this sort of figure sort of just grins at you, and it starts to turn into that same sort of inky black liquid, and it just sort of melts into the ground, grinning all the while as it forms your own shadow. And as the fog around you clears, you are alone. No friends, no devil, just you and the decisions you made. You okay?
Oh. Oh. Skuka's angry though. At first he thinks he's been tricked. And then he realizes that if so, he only tricked himself. And like many things he's internalized recently, that anger's one of them. He just directs it inwards. And just seethes for a while.
And you are kind of left alone in this space. There is nothing around you except that empty darkness and that flat plane of water that's just barely an inch deep. The other three of you, as Sasira yells out into this space, you see the silhouette of Skuka and the devil, and it just sort of ripples away. And everything sort of starts to ripple out, and this smoke around you starts to clear. And what's left behind is a single table with something on top of it.
I walk up to it.
The snow globe. And on the inside, trapped and alone, is a very angry Skuka. I think that is where we're ending today's episode of Apotheosis. Are we all O? How are we doing?
Wow, Mac. You're a really talented dungeon master. That's all I will say. You have evoked emotions like the best of them.
So many emotions were evoked.
I mean, I said it in the chat, but she's one of those too good at DMing DMs.
Too good. Maybe too good. I mean, maybe.
all,
Thank
all,
you.
all that planning, all that. It's just too smart.
Do you want to know something?
Always.
Yes.
I want to know
Um,
something.
About
I don't
access to
trust
that?
it.
Wasn't really planned. It was just what y'all gave me. I just sort of was like, okay, these are your things.
I mean, I recognize some of them, and then, oof.
I think the only things I like really planned were the house and the devil. Everything else, like, kind of was just like heck.
I mean, there had to have been some planning there with Scrat in the suit. Let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, he completely changed his attire.
Oh yeah, Mac definitely.
Collusion!
Mac definitely. Yeah.
Collusion indeed. Like I thought he
Okay,
was getting up to go to
okay.
the washroom.
And
And then I
never came back.
realized he wasn't coming back. And then I realized Skuka was disappearing too. And I was like,
Yeah, okay. To be fair, that
It was
wasn't me
Scrat.
planning. That wasn't me planning. That was Scrat literally messaging me this weekend going, so, Skuka, you want to talk about him? And I was just like, yeah, sure. What do you want?
Always.
Again, I was able to do this because I have a wonderful cast of players who willingly give me knives and trust me enough to use them. So I mean, you know, I'm as good of a DM as my players make me, and I am grateful and blessed to have a fabulous cast.
Well,
I'd like
That's
to.
a version of, like, they were asking for it.
Don't twist my words, Raven. I was trying to give you a gosh darn compliment.
It's true. It's true.
I wore my leather today too for the devil.
I appreciate it.
I'm not.
the
I don't know
devil
if
who
we're
didn't
next
actually make an appearance.
week. Yeah.
Except
Yeah.
at the end.
oops.
It was Skuka all along.
Yeah.
Gook
I
is
d-
the devil. He is Satan.
To quote the hey everyone, hi. As we sort of kind of get ready to wrap up, you should all pop into the Discord where I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be talking about this. Also, speaking of which, I made a playlist specifically for this episode. And the quote was an Oscar Wilde quote, which was simply, "We are each our own devil, and we make this world our hell." That was chosen for a reason.
That
Want to
hurts.
know why?
Well, I think we know.
I think we know why.
We know now.
We have an
Yeah.
idea.
Anyways, I love you, and I'm so grateful that we were able to do this. This was wonderful.
Head over to the Discord, everyone. I'll be releasing. I made a playlist just for Skuka's dream. Whoops. Always give your DM knives. I don't want to go forward with that as a raid cry actually.
Yeah.
Always give your DM sword.
Yeah.
About that.
Lots of pain.
Let's just we can do the traditional let's evoke emotions. I feel like that's appropriate for tonight.
We
was
definitely
thinking, like,
evoked lots of emotions.
As I cry tears.
I was kind of thinking maybe we are our own devils.
We are our own
I
devils.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are each our own devil, and we make this world our hell. Or something along those lines. That was going to be one of the titles, but I like Waltz of the Damned later, because it tied in devils and hell with the dancing that happened at the beginning.
Dancing.
We are. Oh wait, hang on, I'm missing out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not entirely correct. You know, it's close enough.
There we go. That's correct. We
Thank
are
you
our own
again
devils.
so much to my wonderful players for letting me take you on this journey. It's not entirely over yet. You still have a little bit more to go with the well, but I'm excited for next episode as we figure out what happens next after today.
Well, thank
we-
you.
As
Mac.
always, it's a pleasure.
We are going to go on a
Yes.
raid, everyone.
Pleasure.
So check out all of the links. The second one is the Discord, which is going to be the place where you can come and talk about Mackenzie and us and see if I need to roll a new character or not. Also, check out all the other things as well for all of the stuff that you can do involving us and our community. Also, check out our sponsors, Mage Hand Press and Strange. Oh, that's because it's the closing one. And
Deck of Many.
the Deck of Many, who do the flashcards that are casting cast cards. That you can cast spells with.
So they do awesome cards. They have Deck of Many Things, which is obviously everyone knows what that is, but they also have Deck of Many NPCs, which I think is one of the most useful ones. Deck of Many Monsters. They got several volumes of that. They've got some hilarious joke monsters. And what they most recently came out with was the Deck of Many animated spell cards, which on one side is an animated picture of the casting of the spell, and the other side is all the reference you need for the spell itself. They're fantastic.
Shout out to Josh for knowing all that stuff. Awesome.
Yeah, it's,
I've seen the spell cards. They're dope as hell.
They are really good. I have personally, I have all their stuff, but I've personally used the Deck of Many NPCs the most. I find that one very useful, simply because I use a lot of NPCs. You know, and having some stats at the ready is very useful. But
I think I'm gonna get the animated. Hi, Dennis, if you're watching this, cover your ears. I might get the deck of animated spells for my boyfriend for his birthday. Don't tell him!
The animated spells are gorgeous.
He always plays
they
wizards.
Are beautiful. I got to play with some of them at Gen Con, and they're just really sexy. Anyway, that's the end of the show, everyone. We're at time, so keep on evoking emotions. We'll be back next week with more Apotheosis, and we'll be back tomorrow with another 3 shows, including Red Wall Horoscopes and the Tapestry. So come and check all those out as well. We'll see you in the Discord, and see you later on. Bye.
Bye.